Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Okay, so I have to say I didn't care too much about Alan Lichtman ahead of this election. I'd heard of him before, his 13 keys, interesting, cool, great job, buddy. I just instantly move on with my life. But now, this is a major focus for me because this is a full-blown meltdown. Alan Lichtman is not okay. And so all of a sudden, Alan Lichtman and his precious 13 keys becomes an interesting subject of conversation. It becomes news. Maybe that's what he's looking for. He's loving the negative press. He's finally getting his name out there. But the question is, at what reputational cost? This guy has completely fallen apart. Another one of those election analysis gurus essentially losing it after this incredible Trump victory. First J.Ann Seltzer, now we've got Alan Lichtman. J.Ann Seltzer quits her job, resigns in disgrace, and Alan Lichtman deletes his X account. You can't make this stuff up, folks. I want to delve a little bit into this story. I find it fascinating. And then I want to actually delve into the 13 keys, and I want to entertain the idea that actually Alan Lichtman's 13 keys weren't the problem. The problem was Alan Lichtman and his delusional bias. That's what he doesn't seem to get. Let me show you guys exactly what I got. Let's get into this. Let's roll the tape. Okay, so Alan Lichtman having a little bit of a meltdown here. He's been a little bit testy, a little bit snappy in some of his interactions.
No, it's a conversation. It's spirited. I think there's a little bit of a delay.
We're done.
I
you
think
won't
we'd love
let me talk. What's the point?
Are
you the expert or am I the expert?
I've got to stop you right there because stop, or I'm going to stop this interview. You are spreading misinformation.
Can I just finish a goddamn thought ever on this show?
No, not if you're personally. I admitted I was wrong. I don't need you to call me stupid.
Okay.
I'll just say it's great to see you Democrats all getting along so well.
Who taught you manners?
He's been a little bit defensive, to say the least. He's also claimed on multiple occasions that his keys weren't the problem. His system wasn't the problem. The problem was misinformation on X.
Number one, disinformation. We've always had disinformation, but disinformation has exploded to an unprecedented degree. You talked about a grievance election, but a lot of that grievance was driven by disinformation. Starts with Fox News and conservative media, conservative podcasters. Elon Musk putting his thumb on the scales through his control of X, formerly Twitter. It's been reported that his misinformation has had billions, literally billions of views. And this has spread to every aspect of this election. And, I love you guys in the media, but I have to say you are complicit in Donald Trump lying and conning his way to the presidency.
He's not the problem, you're the problem. It's all the disinformation. But the truth is that his keys weren't wrong at all. His bias and his ignorance on the issues got in the way of him answering those 13 questions. And that's what a lot of people have been telling him, and it finally got to him. Womp womp womp. Alan Lichtman says he's done with X. He will be deactivating his account soon. Oh, get ready for it, guys. It's big news. Everyone tune in. The good news is, however, he announces that he'll be over there on Blue Sky. You can go follow him there on Blue Sky. He's completely lost the plot. Instead of facing the noise, instead of having the discussion and having an open mind and listening to the other side, he's done what your typical leftist does. He's going over to his safe space. Oh, isn't that so interesting? And so now to follow up, obviously you get where we're going with this. We got to ask ourselves the question.
Are we the baddies?
Or is Alan Lichtman just delusional and can't handle proper criticism or reality? Oh, you're never going to guess the answer. It's going to be such a surprise. Take a look at this. We got the 13 keys. And basically the way this works is after you ask these 13 questions in an election where the incumbent is running for re-election, if 7 or more of these keys get rated as false, it's binary, true or false, well then it should predict that the incumbent's going to lose. But if less than 7 are wrong and the clear majority are right, then the incumbent gets re-elected. That's the way it works. So let's go through them. The first one is party mandate. Well, as we know, the Democrats lost seats in the midterms, a clear indicator of voter dissatisfaction, and Lichtman knew this, but he downplayed its significance. So this key is rated false. The Democrats didn't have a strong party mandate going into this election. Then we go to the second question, contest. Did Joe Biden run in this election uncontested? The Democrats certainly tried to make it appear as if that was the case, but they launched a frickin' coup against him and exiled anybody from the party who attempted to run against him in the primaries. They didn't hold debates. RFK Jr. as a result of all that. So obviously this key goes false. Let's get to the third key, incumbency. Well, Kamala Harris, is she technically an incumbent? Maybe you could make that argument, but after they, engaged in a coup and forced the sitting president out of his seat and then installed the next puppet, not so sure that you can call that an incumbent president running for office. This key is false, obviously. Third party. Was there no major third-party campaign that disrupted this race? I don't know about that. Maybe later on as RFK Jr. pulled out of the race, but early on, I seem to remember times where RFK Jr. was running at 10 plus points in the polls. I mean, you could make the argument that there was significant challenge. So obviously this key is false. Then we've got short-term economy. Do we really even have to go there? Absolutely false. Long-term economy. I'd argue absolutely false. But these two honestly could be subjective, especially the long-term element. It depends whether you believe big government spending and investment benefits people long-term or whether it doesn't. But either way, I'm rating both of those instantly false. Then we've got the key of policy change. Which side represents change more than the other? Well, Kamala Harris answered that question.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump was promising sweeping reforms, and we've got key number 8, social unrest. You could say that there wasn't significant social unrest, especially during the election, so this one we'll say is true. Then we've got key number 9, which is scandal. And this one right over here, totally exposes Alan Lichtman as being in deep denial, as if there wasn't any scandal here. Well, what about the Hunter Biden laptop? What about Joe Biden's illegal mishandling of classified documents dating back to the 1970s? Or definitely the biggest scandal of all, the cloaking of his clear mental and physical decline, which got exposed during the debate, probably becoming the biggest scandal of his administration, as he fell apart in front of the American people, and then, just a friendly coup getting the old man out of the way and installing a puppet as his replacement. Yeah, I'd say that's a frickin' scandal. So that's false. Now key number 10, foreign or military failure. The fall of Kabul. False. Foreign or military success. Nothing. False. Incumbent charisma. Literally none. There's no charisma.
Michigan!
False. Challenger charisma. Do we even really need to go there? It's the frickin' Trumpinator, baby. He's probably the most charismatic leader of easily the last 100, maybe 200 years. I don't know, I wasn't alive back then. But really, can people compete in charisma with Donald frickin' Trump? And so there you have it, Alan Lichtman's keys. I'm pretty sure, maybe I'm wrong, I'm just doing it as I go, but I'm pretty sure we went for 1 out of 13 there, right? 1 key rated as true and 12 as false. The only key Kamala Harris had there was the key of social unrest. That's utterly pathetic. And exactly like I told you guys, Alan Lichtman's keys aren't even all that bad. It just depends on who's answering the questions. And maybe in the past, he had a pulse on things, but now, well, maybe he's just been subjected to too much MSNBC brain rot, and he's simply lost the plot. This man is obviously in deep, deep denial, but he doesn't want to listen to anyone, any of the misinformation artists out there, disparaging his good names and gold standard credentials. Nope, he's deactivating his Twitter account and going to Blue Sky, where the sky is always blue. It's almost like checking into the left-wing matrix, living in some leftist utopia fantasy land. Isn't that an interesting concept? Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. I just wanted to finally tackle this 13 keys thing that I've been talking about so much lately. Hopefully you enjoyed it. That's what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.